what kind of fuel mileage you getting in the old girl?
Well, guys, I need you to hear it from me before you hear it from anybody else. But my dad had a horribly disfiguring accident.
It's just a beard. It'll grow back. It was an accident. Oh, got that Labrador hip. Oh, good grief. Guys, the moral of today's story is don't go looking for problems. It's not worth it. Why are there 8 spark plug wires on this 4-cylinder engine?
This is what happens when we try and fix stuff. We don't.
Welcome back to Crossthread Garage and Salvage. I'm Steve. This is my daughter, Caitlin, and this
is my truck.
Is her Ford Ranger. The 41 Ford back there that is also her truck is obviously not done yet. So she is driving. She got her license this past fall, and we picked up this little Butte right here for a nice little cheap run around, go get her, kind of take me to town and nowhere else type of rig. So it's actually proven to be a nice little vehicle. I kind of like it. I've never been a big fan of like the quarter-ton truck, you know, the S10s, the Rangers. It's a nice
me neither,
little,
if we're being so-far. But
it's a nice little truck, at least for getting stuck in the snow in the driveway. Yep, got herself stuck. It's pretty good at that. So 2-wheel drive rig. We're going to kind of walk you around what we got going on here. There's a little bit of maintenance we got to do on this. So that's the plan for today. And we're going to see if there isn't a couple little things we could do to just tune this thing up slightly to get better fuel efficiency out of it. So the question in front of us is, can we make a cheap truck even cheaper to operate? We'll see. All right, kiddo, give us a little walk around here on the truck. Is this a 99 or a 2000? I can't remember.
I thought it was a 99.
I don't know. Whatever it is, it's got a tree that fell on it, which is kind of our MO on Ford trucks around here because this one also had a tree fall on it.
Okay. This is Reggie the Ranger.
Reggie the Ranger. I didn't realize you named it.
This is my seat.
Okay, it's like an episode of Cribs.
I don't cook, but we got a Viking stove.
It's a 4-cylinder automatic, nothing special about that. It had a sweet paw topper on it.
I do know. I don't
understand why you didn't want that on there, but it was amazing. And I wish we actually sold it like the day after we picked this up because she really did not want to drive with it on there.
Yeah, within the hour that I got it for my birthday, and we got home at like 11, and we took the top off and we put it in the driveway, and then the next day it was gone.
Yeah, it's sold. So you can see some of the remnants of it. The paint is not
it's okay.
Perfect. Quite a bit of rash on top here. Somebody did a little bit of primer work with some masking tape. I don't know what that's about.
Yeah, my bed's not actually bolted down in the front.
Yeah, that's a problem.
I can see it in my mirror going like this when I drive.
We can look into that. We pulled it in here last night so it would be warm and dry, and it leaked all over the garage, and apparently my drain doesn't work and flow to the middle. It flows over here. So that is awesome news. Okay, listen and listen carefully because I got something I got to get off my chest. Also, ignore that. That's in next week's video. Here's what I need you to know, and here's what I need to say. Thank you. I need to say thank you to all of you who continue to support this channel every week. Those of you who've either been watching for 2 months or 2 years, it just is mind-boggling to Caitlin and I that there are people that want to keep watching us on YouTube. And some of you have chosen to support the channel in a number of ways. You bought merchandise from crossthreadgarage.com, sweatshirts, t-shirts, hats, stickers, all that stuff. Others of you have chosen to join the Shade Tree Nation and join as a member here on YouTube for $1.99 a month. And to say thank you to you, you already know. You get a discount on the website, you get behind-the-scenes footage, you get early release videos that everybody else eventually gets to see, and you get access to a monthly live stream, which we actually haven't done monthly, but you guys are a pretty understanding group, so we're grateful for your patience. And then there are our sponsors, like today's sponsor, Hot Shot Secret, who have stepped in and said, we want to make sure that this channel and everything that Caitlin is trying to do succeeds. So we're going to provide what we can to help that get done. You see some of them on the wall here behind me. And guys, you have no idea how much some of these companies have stepped up to help. So for Hot Shot Secret, today's sponsor, we're really grateful. And that's why this week you're seeing us use their Red Diamond 5W30 full synthetic motor oil and their gasoline extreme fuel treatment in Caitlin's Ford Ranger. Because the combination of these two products are going to allow for improved efficiency in the operation of that vehicle, the longevity of the mechanicals of that vehicle, and the lowered overall operating expenses. So hang tight, because at the end of this video, we're going to be showing you the results of doing an oil change and adding the fuel additive here to Caitlin's truck and the improved fuel mileage that we get out of that thing. You don't want to go anywhere. I could not believe the results.
The little tailgate.
Little tailgate, a little bit of rust on the tailgate. I see. I did not notice this before. We might need to do something about that before it gets worse.
This doesn't close. Yeah, it doesn't close. Unless. Okay, never mind.
What's going on here?
Hey, when did that happen?
Yeah, well, that's what I was just about to ask. Well, there isn't one there or there. And there's one here.
At least it's not rusty under there.
Let's get a Torx bit and put that in right now. Just gonna run this down
I wonder when that happened.
through here.
One eternity later.
Doesn't seem to be tightening. Well,
Man, whatever.
it's holding it now. All right,
I
job
haven't
one done.
actually used the bed yet.
Yeah, these bed liners here in Ohio just tend to be the thing that traps moisture and rusts everything out underneath. So that bed liner actually may need to come out of there one day
I
soon.
like it. It'll be fine in the summer. Also, this is perfect for a twin air mattress and then go to like the drive-in or something.
You're not going to any drive-in with a mattress. I'm a little concerned about the rust on the back of this. I hadn't noticed any of that rust before. I thought this was kind of a rust-free truck. Okay, ready for this? Just got to push the truck into next Tuesday.
Let's say, I'm pretty sure the whole truck moved.
Latched. Here's your garbage can for your sister.
Yeah.
Why does this say Terry's seat? Who's Terry?
Todd.
Terry is Todd?
Yes.
Who's Todd?
Bran.
Terry is Todd and Todd is Bryn.
Bryn is Terry.
Bryn is Terry.
Yeah.
Not even going to ask. A few little trim pieces are busted up here. The previous owner was an older guy who had retired from a body shop. I know it's been painted. If you flip the gas cap on that side, there's blue paint on this bed inside there. So
Brother,
it was originally a blue bed. I think it's been replaced once. This was pushed out after the tree hit it, but he didn't do anything with it. I think we are probably going to need to get some sandpaper on here, clean this up, and at least treat it with some rust inhibitor so it doesn't rust the roof out. Reach over there and pop the hood. Let's take a look at this little four-banger.
I can't reach it. Hey, where's the... Oh.
No. There you go. All right. So once again, pretty sanitary. The only thing we had to do right after we got this was replace this component of the intake, some sort of intake valve, metering, something or other. I don't even remember what it was called, but had a check engine light on it. So we replaced it because we wanted to see what our actual fuel mileage was when we didn't have a check engine light on the dash for the emissions system. And it got like 18.7. What was it? What it was? 18.7 gallons, 18.7 miles per gallon, which is not bad, but that's not like great for a 4-cylinder.
Oh, and the check engine light went off for a while. I was driving and I was like, why does my dash look so empty? And it's because the check engine light wasn't on. And then I hit a bump and the check engine light came back on. So it's on right now.
It's back on?
Yeah.
Between my daughter and her mother, I am routinely being surprised by my check engine light's back on. Why didn't you tell me? I don't know. Came on like 6 weeks ago. What?
Well,
How long has it been on?
5 weeks.
Oh my word.
It's not bad for it. All of our cars always have the check engine light on. It's just meaning like a suggested maintenance trip to the garage.
Yeah, just suggested maintenance. What is a Bulldog battery? Never heard of them. Willoughby, Ohio. What is this? Some sort of like mom and pop shop battery? All right, we're gonna figure out what that check engine light's all about. So Caitlin's gonna plug in this to your OBD2. It's down here. All right, so not a sponsored moment here. We've got a Gear Wrench Bluetooth OBD2 reader. Their new scan tools here. So let's take a look and see what's going on here. And we'll. All right, it's scanning now. Looks like we've got a couple of faults coming up here. Probably this powertrain control module fault is going to be the only one that would throw a light on the dash. Evaporative emission control system leak detected. System 2 lean, bank 1. Well, there's only one bank. It's a 4-cylinder, so interesting. I'm going to clear that. Yep.
Does that fix it or just take it off the dash?
Well, arguably, that's the same thing.
Okay.
So, if we start it up now,
Boom, jakalaka.
no check engine light.
It's
That's
empty
fixed.
again.
Yeah, our fuel gauge doesn't work too well, does it?
Found that out the hard way.
All right, so no lights on the dash, and I'm gonna look real quick and see what that code might indicate. I think I know what it is though. EVAP stuff on these early 2000s, late 90s stuff was often the fuel cap being loose or faulty, so might be in for a big service here on the fuel filler cap. We'll see. All right, so we did go ahead and get a new cap for it. Well, you're loosening it, so tighten it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just cut that off at the top. Fixed. All right, other thing we're going to be doing here is using Hot Shot Secret Gasoline Extreme, which is a fuel additive. Now, I'm not a snake oil kind of guy. I am prone to conspiracy theories,
I'm gonna
though.
lose this every time I go to fill up my gas.
Yeah, you're
I'll
definitely
leave
going
it
to lose
somewhere.
that with it's not connected now. However, this isn't snake oil, and it's no conspiracy. This is scientifically proven to be.
I gotta stick it in that little hole thing.
Well,
And
yeah,
push
you
the
gotta get
tab?
it. You gotta get it in the tank, right?
Yeah, just do it really
It
quick.
should run past the tab, actually.
It doesn't. I've tried filling up.
There you go.
Now, beyond the dollars that Hot Shot Secret has saved me over the years, there's a couple other reasons we genuinely love this company and their products. First and foremost, they work. Everything they do is backed by science. Now, that's not just their company motto. That's the reality of the way they operate. They're at a local Ohio-based company. Their production facility, their shipping facility, and their laboratory are all right here just down the road from us in Mount Gilead, Ohio. This company knows their customers, and they understand what works and what we need. And I can tell you from my experience, you will not be more satisfied with any product out there for your diesel or gas engine when it comes to lubricants and additives. Hot Shot Secret has everything you need.
All right, let's get on to servicing this. I do want to, before we do before we do the oil change, I do want to pull a spark plug and get a camera down inside one of those cylinders and just see what the inside of this engine looks like. Want to do that?
Sure.
Okay, let's try it. All right, so what we've got here is a 2.5 cylinder. Yeah, it's actually a 4-cylinder, 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine. And Caitlin, go ahead. You get the wrench. Go ahead and grab one of these spark plug boots off here. No, spark plugs are on this side.
Oh, on this side.
I'm looking at one right here.
I'm also looking at one right here.
Why are there 8 spark plug wires on this 4-cylinder engine? Somebody want to let me know in the comments what I don't know about what Ford was doing in the early 2000s? Huh. Well, they look like they're not real easy to change, so I don't think we're going to be changing all of them. Because, in fact, the previous owner that we bought this from told me that he had spark plugs and the timing belt done at 100,000 miles. This truck currently has 100 and, what does it have on it now? 108, 109,000, something like that.
104.
Well, it didn't go backwards.
Wow.
104?
No. What am I looking at?
The mileage.
Well, there's more than 3 numbers.
104,000, dear.
Yeah, 110.
Okay. It's got 110,400, which is where the confusion was coming from. All right, let's find the easiest spark plug to get out of here. And confirm, number 1, that he did in fact change spark plugs, and number 2,
Ow.
open up a spot for us to get a camera in. So I'm looking at this one right here going, this is probably a nice, easy, clean shot.
So we're only changing one.
No, we're not. I just got done saying.
Oh, I wasn't listening, sorry.
That one could be an easy one to get
Why
to.
do they have such weird covers?
The other 2 are definitely underneath this intake manifold here. So don't really want to get into
I don't even know how
trying
this
to
comes
thread a
off.
needle into there.
Sir.
I think this boot is probably your best one. Grab that boot and pull it off.
It just pulls off.
Don't pull the wire, pull the boot.
Yeah. Well, help.
I haven't busted my knuckle yet this morning, so let me get in here and try. Where's that's loose enough, I think.
Spark plug looks really weird.
Oh man.
Did you take the... Dad.
The clip stayed on the plug and came out of the boot. I swear, even the simple things, you can't put a wrench on it. We have to get the clip off. But let me show you guys what we're looking at here.
Ow!
Did you just run your head into that?
Yeah.
Gotta watch out for that. This is the clip that's supposed to be inside of the boot. It's not supposed to stay on the spark plug. So that means we're at least going to get one of these wires and replace it.
I mean, usually they need 4 spark plugs, so maybe this one will run on 7.
That's a good thought. Cylinder should actually still fire, it just won't fire with all 8. Still don't know what's going on with 8 spark plugs in a 4-cylinder. I don't know. I guess there's lots of stuff I don't know. Got it.
I gotta drive this time.
It'll be running. No problem. Go ahead and grab that spark plug out of there now, which we can probably, at this point, guarantee was not changed. Is that the right size?
No.
Yeah. Let's get the right size wrench. Now I'm gonna say, put the wrench so it's up here, so you can push back like that, not have to pull up on it.
Ow.
busted knuckle. Bring it in. Bring it in. Put it on camera. Yes. Old intake grabbed it right off the knuckle.
Okay. That's gone forever.
Where do you think that went?
The abyss.
The plan was to do this quickly so we could go play in the snow today. But Caitlin just dropped
Here.
the spark plug. Oh, that does actually look... Nope, that does not look like a new spark plug.
What doesn't look what?
Does not look like a new spark plug. Liars on the internet. What are you doing back there?
I got this.
Well, that's good because we might need that.
Look at that. Did you drop it even further?
Almost had it.
Farther? Farther?
I have no idea where it went.
Well, that's just great.
Oh my
It's
word.
literally running fine. Well, it was.
It was running fine.
This is what happens when we try and fix stuff. We don't.
We're real good at making a problem for ourselves. I think that spark plug landed right up here above this starter somewhere. We need to get a jack underneath this car, this truck. Caitlin, seem to have a little oil leak around the trans pan too. It's really encouraging to see. Awesome. Let's get a jack stand under here before I get too far underneath it. Oh! My right hip. It's getting old as a young man's game. Oh, my goodness. Right hip feeling like I'm a purebred Labrador. Good night. If this truck falls on me, even though we have a stand under here, right there, don't bury me in an open casket. I don't want anybody to remember me with this beard, okay?
Okay.
Gonna have to go for the front. Pull me around. Good. Oh boy.
That's the jack.
Okay, that was Jack. I got it. I got it. I got it. That is a dirty old spark plug. Okay.
Okay, hear me out. You guys might be tired of hearing about sponsored products by this video already, but we need to see inside this engine. There's really no way to do that unless you pull the heads off or you have a Borescope. So if you don't have a Borescope, this is where you need to be looking. This was sent to us by our friends over at KAIWEETS. It takes 4K video, allows you to put in an SD card to record. It has an adjustable end that you can roll around with the wheel here. This thing is all you really need if you're needing a Borescope. Now, you might be getting the impression at this point that we'll just take any company that allows us to use their product and throw it as a sponsor on the channel. I responded to 7 emails today from companies that wanted us to do everything from dietary supplements to men's boxer briefs. And I'm just going to tell you, I've lost enough weight that I'm pretty sure I've delayed my plans for adult onset diabetes, but I haven't lost enough weight to be modeling boxer briefs for you. So you're welcome. Link in the description today. If you're looking for yours, find one here, the KAIWEETS KBA01. You can see the carbon buildup on the top of that piston. You see it? The edge of it right there. So looks like we've got quite a bit of carbon actually in there. The cylinder walls look good. Looks like it's a, yeah, don't have anything to worry about there. Look, you can see the cross hatching really well. You see it?
Yeah.
That is pretty cool. So, put a link in the description. Like I said, there'll be a discount code there for you too. Doesn't help us out, it's just helps you out, which is kind of neat. All right, we've got spark plugs and wires ordered, and Caitlin mentioned to me that this thing above, what'd you say, above 85 miles an hour, it's got a little shimmy in it. Got a little shake. Come here and hold this camera, and I'm going to check the tie rods and ball joints. Oh. Oh my. Top to bottom would normally be ball joints. Side to side is tie rod ends. But it doesn't sound like it. It sounds like it's... Let's go look the other side, and then I'm going to get a light and get underneath there. Oh, good grief. Guys, the moral of today's story is don't go looking for problems. It's not worth it. All right, quit heating your sweatshirt up. Come over here. Grab the top and the bottom of that wheel while I go under here with a light. Ignore that jack stand that is sitting there supporting nothing. That is not the ball joint moving. Do that again. Looks like the whole hub is moving. Yeah, it's not the knuckle here or here. It's actually the wheel on the hub. So we either have, at least on this side, we either have loose lug nuts or we have a loose center nut on the hub.
Nice.
Not nice. Let's look at the other side.
Wait, what does that mean?
Well, it potentially means it's an easier fix.
Easier.
All right, I'm looking at the knuckles again. Yeah. The wheel is moving on the outside spindle. Don't break it. No. Other way.
Does it go the other way? It's hooked on here.
Got it. Oh, look at that. Those lug nuts.
Ouch.
They're not even thread sticking through. But that is a rust-free, almost brand new looking hub. I'm gonna bet if we pull that dust cap off of there, we're gonna find that the center nut is not tight. Good grief. Yeah, that's not nearly tight enough.
Been driving a truck whose wheels could fall off at any given time.
Gonna want to be a little bit tighter than that. Now these don't need to be tight. You do want to tighten it up, seat it, and then back it off. I don't think anybody probably ever seated this one. So we're gonna pull this cotter pin, get this done properly, go to the other side. This is one of the unfortunate realities of just buying stuff that other people have worked on, Caitlin. Sometimes hearing, oh yeah, I went ahead and fixed that. It's got brand new, fill in the blank. That could actually be like the worst news you'd ever heard because you end up with people who fix it like this. Probably gonna need a new one of those. See that? That's the cap. No bueno.
Aren't these the ones where you have to turn it like a certain amount of times? Or what are the ones that you have to do that
Well,
with?
what you want to do is you want to get it tight. See that? So,
What are the ones we had to do on the C10 we had to like turn it like a certain amount of times?
well, you tighten it
Those are
up.
the castle nuts on something?
No, on these you tighten it up and then you back it off a little bit because, see now with it tight like that, there's like a ton of drag. You can't even turn the wheel. But normally it's at least a quarter turn backwards. So if we consider this 12 o'clock, even though it's more like 11:45, and we go back to 9 o'clock, that's a quarter turn. See, it spins free now. Brake's dragging a little bit, but that's okay. Got a little bit of playback in it. So what I did there is I just went until it's finger tight now. This is a kind of a universal deal that locks that in. So you just figure it. So you can go in any number of micro adjustments. but you get it where it's locked over the hole. Put a new key through it, and we're done with this side. Put the cap back on.
Are we gonna get a new key?
I've got some.
You just have them laying around.
Yeah, here there. So let's use that one if it'll go in. Perfect. There you go. Rinse and repeat on the other side. Okay, so we checked this side and the lug nuts look the same there. And then I looked them up online and they are the same style as the lug nut listed by Dorman as a replacement. So I'm not sure why, but I think those are factory. But before we put it back together, we're going to throw some Never Rust lubricant from Hot Shot Secret. It's a rust preventative. It's designed to block rust and corrosion. And as a penetrating lubricant, it's going to get in there, make sure that those are easy to break off next time we need to get this wheel off of here. Shake it up. You actually might find a few more places to use this here on the truck, since in Ohio, everything rusts. We're going to leave that alone. Pop this guy back on. Job done. All right, kiddo. Let's give it the old shake test now. Yep. Yep. What did you call this truck, Caitlin?
Reggie the Ranger.
Reggie the Ranger. We're going to need to change the name to Danger Ranger. What are you worried about, getting oil in your busted knuckle?
Yeah, it really hurts.
It's fun. You can't get the brake loose?
I'm pulling down, right?
Yeah, put that breaker bar on the end of it. Get a little leverage.
Oh. I never do this right. Hey, we didn't lose it in there this time.
Excellent. I'll take that. Not a bunch of metal on there. I mean, it's only a 100,000 mile engine, guys. When I was, a kid 25 years ago, a 100,000 mile engine was a high mileage engine, but these are not. Proving to be the same as they were in the 70s and 80s. And having the timing belt done, that was kind of a big one for me because I know enough to know timing belts, timing chains on 4-cylinder engines. 80 to 100,000 miles is top end. So he did say he had that done. Actually showed me receipts on that one. So I'm not going to pull the timing cover off to check like I did with the spark plugs, but we're going to assume it's good.
What happens when it starts draining?
Well, just let it drain into that pan until it stops.
Like off the
And
side?
then, yeah, and then you can spin it all the way off once it's done draining.
There's not enough room for this in here. What am I doing wrong?
Well, I don't know. You want me to get down there and get it?
No. Oh, no, I am. Honestly, I think I could just get this by hand. What am I doing?
Just try it.
Yeah.
There you go. Got it by hand. We're going to pre-fill just a little bit of oil since this thing's going in horizontally. We don't want to pour it all out. So we're going to pre-fill a little bit of oil now that we've confirmed it is, in fact, the right size. So we'll do that. Caitlin, you got the plug back in there?
The plug.
The oil plug in the drain pan?
Oh, yeah. You might as well just pour it in there.
Well, you can just pour it in there, but you should probably use a funnel so you don't cover the... You don't need to shake the oil. And like all of Hot Shot Secret's oils, the Red Diamond 5W30 provides excellent shear stability, low volatility, oxidation resistance, and a high viscosity index, enhancing fuel economy by reducing friction and wear through the infusion of the proprietary FR3 nanotechnology, providing unsurpassed levels of longevity and performance, while keeping the oil cleaner and providing better mileage and horsepower.
Go to KAIWEETS.com today and use Crossthread15 for 15% off all your purchases site-wide.
Well, Joy just came out here and stole my help to see if she wanted to go play on the four-wheeler in the snow. So.
Why did you turn? Take us back to Dad to give the camera back.
I am going to just throw this spark plug wire back in. We're just replacing the one that broke. If we change the plugs and wires and we did the oil and the fuel additive, we want to see what the combination of the Hot Shot Secret fuel additive and Red Diamond 5W30 oil is going to do. And then we'll come back in, change spark plugs and wires, run it again, see if there's any improvement. And while we're doing that, we'll check the inside of that cylinder to see if we burned off any carbon from the top of that piston. So hang tight. All right, now we've run it and it is looking like it's about a half a quart low. So I went ahead and got the old Google machine out. And what do you know? We put 4 quarts in and the capacity is 4.5 quarts. So we're gonna add another half quart and call it good. Now, for those of you paying attention, this is a 5-quarter, but I actually have been using this oil in other stuff, so that other one wasn't totally full when we started. All right, now before we roll this thing out, since we did see the transmission pan is leaking a little bit, let's check the trans fluid here, and then we'll top it off with some of our Hot Shot Secret Blue Diamond automatic transmission fluid. I actually don't think it needs filled up. I think we're good. Why don't we just go ahead and throw the garage door up? I'll have you back this out so you can take this to church in the morning. I got it.
As I'm sitting here editing this and I hear myself refer to Caitlin taking the truck to church the next morning, I'm reminded of one of my favorite Bible verses, Hebrews chapter 10, verse 25. And let us not neglect our meeting together as some people do, but encourage one another, especially now that the day of his return is drawing near.
I want to flip it.
Well, then come forward and back in there to turn it around. It's like playing parking lot roulette here. What she's wanting to do is turn it around and back it in this spot so that in the morning she can just pull straight out. What she's actually going to do is get herself stuck in the driveway there between my car and the tent. This truck is really bad in the snow. Yep, got herself stuck. Straighten your tires. 1, 2, 3. Keep thinking to myself, we don't need sandbags, but about once a week I end up throwing 3 or 4 used tires in the back of that thing along with a bunch of old iron so she can get out of the driveway in the morning.
All right, it's staying here.
Perfect-ish. We're done for tonight, but this episode's not over. We've got to drive that thing for a little bit and then give you a report on the improved fuel mileage that we find here. So stay tuned. And don't forget to subscribe. Listen, I think me pushing Caitlin out of the snow in her truck at 9:30 at night, that's worth a subscription. Go ahead and do it. Make it happen.
Right.
3 weeks later.
Okay, a couple weeks later, and most importantly, Marty's home.
Marty's been missing.
He was lost, but now he's found. Actually, he looks like he got into a fight. Came home with most of his ear fur gone.
Poor guy.
But
think somebody, it's actually been treated so well that I think somebody, probably one of our neighbors, picked up the poor guy off of their porch and made sure he was safe and warm and dry. And then when he was all healed up, let him out, and he's like, I know where my people is. I'm going home.
You're a garage
So,
cat.
Marty's back, and we have an update for you on the Ranger. Big disappointment for most of you, I know. We did not get the roof fixed. I don't know what to tell you. Body work is just not that, what's the word I'm looking for?
We can't do it.
Yeah.
But the good news is the gas cap has kept the check engine light off the dash.
We did go ahead and get the plugs and wires replaced on this thing, and took a little bit of footage of the inside of the cylinder. While we were doing that, you can see where that carbon is already starting to burn off of that cylinder from where we had it last time, which is great. That's exactly what we expected it to do. But I know you're sticking around this long because you're wondering what kind of fuel mileage you getting in the old girl. Well, not planned. We went from 18.7 miles per gallon, which, you know, it's just a number. When you're 16, you're only concerned about miles per gallon. But 18.7 miles per gallon did the Red Diamond 5W30 oil change and the Gasoline Extreme fuel treatment, and immediately went to 21.85 miles per gallon. 18.7 to 21.85 is better than 11%. My math's kind of bad. That was on the first tank. The second tank of fuel through this truck, we got 23 miles per gallon. Can Hot Shot Secret help you take a cheap truck and make it just a little bit cheaper to drive?
Yes, it can.
Yes, it can. And we're grateful to him for helping us out with this episode today. Caitlin's truck's back on the road. And next week, and by next week, of course, I mean likely 2 weeks from now,
Possibly 2 months.
we're going to show you how we did that. Right there. With those fuel tanks on Caitlin's 41 Ford Power Stroke build.
Oh, so stay tuned because it's really good.
Hook your intake back up.
Oh.
What? Yeah.